Okay, welcome back to my opinion. Um, this is a follow up on. I was going to trade a couple guns and try out a new gun. Uh, there was three choices: uh, the Beretta 92X Compact, which I've had before, and I really liked it. I ended up giving it to my son though for his first concealed carry. I wanted him to have a good double action, double single action uh, for the hammer, etc. Um, that was my. These weren't in any order, but these were the three that I was really looking at. And sorry about the glare; the sun's just coming in the perfect way here. But it was the 92X Compact, a PX4 Storm, um, but not just the base model Storm, because you can get those pretty cheap. Um, I was really looking at the PX4 Storm. I think it's the Compact Carry. Yeah, is the name of it. The PX4 Storm Compact Carry. It's a Langdon Tactical. Now, Langdon Tactical does some of the stuff to it, and then he helps design some of the stuff. There's basically two tiers of the Langdon Tactical. One that's around $800. Now, I know what you're thinking for a PX4 Storm, $800, but it has a lot of stuff on it. Um, and the one that's like $1,200. Now that one has more stuff from Langdon Tactical, where he actually goes in and does stuff to the trigger bar uh, and his own stuff. Uh, Polishes it and coats it or something. And I think there's some other things he does. A spurless hammer, which I don't like a spurless hammer. I want a hammer. If you're going to have a hammer gun, I want a hammer. That's just me personally. And the third one was HK. And I've had a bunch of HKs before. I love HK. The biggest fault with the HK, one, I couldn't find one. I found them, but I couldn't find one that I really wanted. Uh, Two, I'm not crazy about their triggers. HKs, pardon me if I'm looking around and stuff. I'm in a parking lot, so you gotta be aware, man. There's a lot of walkers running around downtown Louisville and any city. I call them walkers because sooner or later, a lot of them are probably going to be dead. The homeless people and stuff with the drugs and the craziness that you see them performing on the. I've seen some wild stuff pooping right on the sidewalk, right in front of a bunch of people, just dropping drawers and talking to people who aren't there, screaming at you when you didn't even make eye contact. Anyway, I call them walkers. But anyway, and the triggers with the HKs, they're just very gritty. The USPs. Uh, so and I didn't want a striker. I wanted something double action, single action, something with a hammer. I really like a hammer. It's a lot of fun, but also it for appendix carry. If you ever watch James Reed, TFB, I think is what it's called. It's his YouTube channel. He's adamantly against appendix carry. I'm not. I like appendix carry sometimes, but I carry it more over a little bit, not exactly appendix, but it's pointing in an area. So it kind of always made me a little nervous with Glocks because I don't like Kydex. So those three were the guns that I was looking at. What I ended up going with was the Beretta PX4 Storm um, compact carry. And I got to be careful here, so I'm going to move you around here. Sorry. This is what I ended up going with. Now, this gun, it is unloaded. There's no magazine. The rounds are right down here. I don't know if you can see them, the magazine, etc. But anyway, sorry about all that moving you around. This is the compact carry. Uh, what it has is, I don't know if Langdon Tactical, Ernest Langdon, went in and did this stuff. I don't think he did, but he designed it or helped design it. It does have a competition trigger from Beretta, so it's a Beretta part, not an altered part, if that makes any difference to you. Um, it has night sights. Well, I would say a night sight. The rear sight is the black notch, blocked out black. The front sight I really like is a tritium sight with a big red square. I mean, it's perfect for a concealed carry defensive type weapon. Um, the trigger is a little smoother. It's a competition trigger from Beretta that was put in this gun. The slide is a Cerakote with this sniper gray. And anybody who knows anything about Berettas, you know Berettas. I've owned several. Their finishes aren't the best. They don't hold up that well. Uh, so it's a Cerakote uh, coating, sniper gray. It it has, everyone who's ever handled a storm probably knows about the safety slash decocker wings being that come out real far. These, if you can see them, they're very low profile to the slide. Some people complain a little too low profile, but it's a decocker only. Doesn't I don't think it comes in with safety, but it's decocker and it stays out of the way. The other thing I like about it is the slide catch, slide release. They've it's not such a big wing sticking out there. It's a lot more lower profile, but still easy to catch. The decockers I really like. They're a little low profile. You got to reach with your thumb a little bit, and it takes a little bit of force. But I just use my left hand and come over the top of the slide and push them down. Um, I like them, and I'm not worried about having to decock your gun in a stressful situation because you're not going to. When are you going to decock your gun in a stressful situation? You're not going to decock your gun until you're ready to holster or you're not using it defensively. Um, so, there's that. Um, and it does come with 3 magazine release buttons, some smaller ones. There's 2 extra in the case and 1 on the gun, and you can choose small, medium, or large ones. Uh, and it comes, of course, with the back straps. That's all the PX4 Storms do have back straps. I did not know that. The barrel is chrome lined, typical. From what I understand, I think that's all PX4 Storms, hammer forged. It's Beretta. This gun just didn't really take off that well. It's been around since 2004, the PX4 Storm, which I did not know that either. I just don't remember. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I always overlooked it because, it's kind of a beefy chick, if you know what I mean. And, when you actually measure it out, especially the compact carry, because they kind of trimmed it down some with all the levers and so forth, it's really not that bad. So it's about the same as a Glock 19. Size wise, I think it's about 5 ounces heavier than the Glock 19, but because it's a beefy gun. Um, but it's about the size of a Glock 19 in width and uh, size and everything. The barrel, I think, is like a 3 3/4, something like that. Uh, Almost 4, but not quite 4, like 3 3/4, I think. Look it up. You don't quote me on that one. Um, it does come with these Talon grips in the box. You have to put them on yourself if you want them because a lot of people complain about the grip being kind of slick. I didn't find that. I shot it without the grips. I put about 150,000 or 150,000. Wow. About 150 rounds through it. Flawless. Just flawless. And it shoots really well, I think. It's going to take me some getting used to, because the first trigger pull is about an 8-pound trigger pull in double action. In single action, it's probably about 4 pounds. So it's a light, nice little trigger. Got to watch here. People running around everywhere. So excuse me. But always stay aware of your surroundings. Never let your guard down. You got to watch. Man, there's so much crime going around. But anyway, yeah, that's the gun. It shot flawlessly, no problems. It has a different recoil system. It's not really a different recoil. It still recoils, but you don't get the muzzle flip as much. Instead, it comes back like this because of the barrel. If you'll notice, I'd show you, but I can't lift up the gun and twist it around. I'm also going to do another video on this gun at home, where I can take it down and show you the insides of it, the guts. But this barrel, it actually is I forget what they call it. The barrel turns, it twists when you fire. So it doesn't do like, say, a Glock does, where it rises or lowers like the Browning design does. Instead, it twists and turns but stays in place, making the barrel go straight back rather than rise and lower. So it's a different kind of recoil. It still has its, it recoils, of course. It's not as flat as what a lot of people claim. If you can control any gun, you can control this. It shot very, very well for me. I love Glocks, don't get me wrong, but I always shoot low and left. And I've tried everything I can. Not bad. I mean, at 7 yards, I'm still hitting an inch. I can, if I really, really try, a 1-inch, 2-inch group, and get them all, within an inch or two from the bullseye when I'm shooting target. But I'm a combat shooter. I'm not really worried about hitting bullseyes, so it never really bothered me that much. But it'd be nice to, if you're shooting, trying to impress or something, and hit that bullseye, it would be nice to be able to hit that. But yeah, it's a great gun. I highly recommend it. I shot it real well. It's going to take a little practice, because I'm not used to. I found myself going back with the trigger reset, and the trigger reset on this is very good too. Once you're back into single action after you shoot, you hold the trigger back, and then to get that reset click, it's very short. It's a good carry trigger, perfect for carrying. Nothing wrong with Glocks. Just we all know it weighs on your mind when you're carrying a Glock, just slightly. You think about it, you're like, wow, man, that little striker's just being held back. Any little thing could make that striker come forward, even though it can't. Glocks are super safe. If you're carrying a Glock, you're fine, as long as you're not putting your finger on the trigger or getting something in the trigger guard. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted a hammer-fired gun, is it's safer. It just is. Yeah, that first double action pull, 8 pounds, but it's very smooth in this gun, believe it or not, because the lower is plastic. But it's a very smooth trigger. It's, a lot of people say, oh, it's smoother than the 92. No, it's not, but it's pretty damn close. The 92s, especially in the X92X Centurion, those guys, super smooth, buttery smooth. Uh, in my opinion, way smoother than CZs. I've had CZs. I love those guns too, but there was problems with those that I could not deal with. Um, Maybe I'll do a video on that. But yeah, excellent gun. Uh, Great carry gun. I'll let you know more rounds. Obviously, 150 is not enough to tell reliability. But if you do research on this gun, it's really hard to find a lot of problems with this gun. And some of the videos, if you watch them, there's a few that I did see where individuals complained about a lot of jamming and stuff. One of them for sure, he had changed out the D spring in the back of his PX4 Storm, and he had put a Beretta 92 D spring in there. Beretta tells you not to do that. Langdon Tactical tells you not to do that. Ernest Langdon. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He was a competition shooter. He's an ex-Marine, and he's very good. He knows what he's doing. He's a gunsmith. He works a lot with Beretta and does a lot of work on the Langdon Tactical series guns, some 92s and PX4s and stuff like that. But yeah, I highly recommend. I want to get more accurate. I'm very combat accurate with this gun, but I'm not. I'm still getting used to this trigger. I've been carrying Glocks for a long while, and I've been shooting them a lot too. Not just carrying them, but shooting them. So I got to get used to the double action trigger again. I love double actions. They're just a lot of fun and a little safer, in my opinion. But anyway, that's it. Like, share, and subscribe. I think I've covered everything on this gun. Oh, and the Sniper Gray Cerakote, that's just really cool. Looks cool. And it's a Beretta. Their finishes are not that great. We all know that. Especially that shiny black they put on so many of their 92 series guns. I hate that. Yeah, I think that's it. Easy to take down. Like I said, I'll do another video and show you the guts of this gun. But yeah, I was going to name it, because I name all my pistols based on the serial numbers, what letters there are in them or what numbers. There's no letters on the serial numbers of this gun. It's only numbers. And when I tried to use my phone to figure out how I could make a name with the numbers on the keypad, it just wouldn't come up with a name. It was just totally nonsense. So I decided, oh, you know what? I used to know a stripper that went by Storm years ago, a long time ago. Used to know a few strippers. But I was going to name it Storm. My wife wasn't too ideal on that. So I'm going to have to come up with a name. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay safe. Be safe.